Hey guys, how's everybody doing?
Great.
Looking magical, ready to roll with Rhythm and Articulation, Flute Pro Series. Hope you're having a great time at home, making your own magic at home with some rhythm and articulation today. Now the key to understanding rhythm is your mathematic subdivision. Oh goodness, that sounds terrifying. Not really. It's just breaking down beats by 16th notes, such as our little track that goes 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and right? Or 8th notes, 1 and 2 and. So today we're working on that subdividing, that pulse, that internal track that keeps going, and placing all of our rhythms accurately. Another key, of course, is feeling rhythm. Oftentimes, getting the feel of a specific rhythm is going to produce correct reading as you roll through a piece. But be careful. Things like triplets, especially in slow rhythms, will ninja up on you, man, and take you down. So you got to be aware all the time. We're going to get started with a little warm-up here. Are you ready? Check it out. It's exercise A. We want you to re-articulate here with the da tongue, but always be concerned about beautiful sounds, great intonation, listen and blend. Hey, right now, make sure your TV volume is up loud enough so you can hear all these perfect people back here making it happen for you. There are some dissonances at the end. We want you to listen real carefully, match the intensity of the cast because they're doing a great job. Okay, let's knock it. Here's A. 1, 2, and. Great release. Good music up into here all the time, man. That's these guys. They're so good. All right, we're on to exercise B. Let's check it out right now. We want you to articulate the 8th note that's going into the half note in measure 2. You see that? And make sure to re-articulate the half note as well. So we'll make sure you use that nice, gorgeous, lovely da tongue. Now we're working in parallel chords here. It may sound a little funky and strange. Just play into it. Full sound the whole time. Make it as musical as you can. You'll love it. Let's roll it. Here's B. 1, 2, and. Very lovely. Nice job, guys. Great job on the correct articulation. How'd you do on that? This is RNA, baby. You gotta be focusing on that style, right? Exercise C. We're in a minor key now. You can hack it, no worries. Listen carefully. Sing out with the ensemble. Bring your line forward, but make sure it's still part of the ensemble sound. Always listening to try to match and balance. Be musical with this, though. Do some shaping. We really want you to convey some musicality in here, okay? Roll it. Here's C. Hey now. Hey now. Here we go. 1, 2 on C. Very nice, guys. Super cool. Very fine on the style. Correct articulation all the time. Now we're gonna tune, but before we do that, I gotta tell you who we got here today. All the way on your right, won't you follow me? What's up?
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm great, and you?
I'm doing fantastic. This is the Heather Williard, my friend's flute performance major, or just graduated actually, has the degree, baby, from Jacksonville State University. Oh yes, so awesome. She's throwing down the 4th part for you today, making some ensemble magic, the low flute stuff, gorgeous, rich, low flute stuff. We love that. And she is an avid photographer. Do a little creative writing too. You said you had an English minor?
Yes.
That's pretty awesome too. Anyway, thanks for coming to hang. We love you. On the 3rd part, you've seen him before. He's the man, the myth, the legend, Dr. Fausto Miro. How are you doing, sir? Good. Great to see you again. He's coming to hang with us. Throwing down the 3rd part for you today. Flute performance major, vocal performance major at the University of South Florida. Yep. Right? Very cool. He's rocking their socks down there like he does for us all the time, which is way fun and way cool. Thanks for coming to hang, man.
See you, man.
Yeah. Well, I'll be here actually, so it's cool. We'll see each other a little bit for a while now. Yes. This is the finest woman around in the land. This is Professor Kelly Kratz from Jacksonville State University, right?
Correct.
How are you doing?
Well.
Resplendent, well, resplendent in green matches the set like we planned it or something. She just blends right in. Suddenly she'll pop out and play a little bit. Yes. She's very cool. Helped design the Flute Pro Series curriculum for you and is fantastic at it and helped with all the pedagogical information that we are tossing your way. So hopefully you can glean tons of stuff. You can also visit her at ProSeriesNow.com. She'll handle all your flute-related questions, man. Thanks for coming to hang.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. On the end, how are you, sir?
Doing well.
This is Patrick Klein's throwing down the first part for you today with a gorgeous sound all the time. Great pitch, great phrasing. We want you to listen to him because he's making magic for you. Oh yes, flute performance degree, Jacksonville State, right?
Right.
Studied with Professor Kratz. That's how we had the little correlation here. He came down to hang all the way from Alabama, right? Yes. And also is a music history buff, as I recall, which is way cool. Also plays the Baroque flute. Oh yeah. So tell me about the Baroque flute. How hard is it to play different from the regular flute?
It's almost the same.
Almost the same?
Almost the
Do you have a lot of different literature for Baroque flute that you do on?
Oh,
Oh yeah, tons. Different stuff. Cool. Thanks for coming to hang, man. Appreciate it. Sounds great. Hopefully you will too. We're about to make some rhythm and articulation magic for you. We're gonna move right into tuning. We got 2 A's, and that is all. We got the A down here, and we got the A up here. Each one you're gonna hear twice. Remember how we do it on Pro Series? Okay. First time we're gonna play, you're gonna listen very carefully, matching pitch, blending your sound in. Again, make sure your TV volume's up loud enough so you can hear all this gorgeousness and fit your sound right in. Matching pitch. We're gonna start on second space A. Okay. First time, our turn. No, you. Okay, here we go. Your turn. Cool, guys. We're gonna pop it right up to the A on top of the staff for you. Okay, our turn first. Listen very carefully. Make sure you're directing that air forward. Use lots of air. Listen so carefully. Here we are. Our turn first. Very nice, guys. Your turn. Are you listening? Can you hear it in your head? You're developing that sonic vocabulary all the time. Really stretch your mental, oral muscles so you can always be listening, trying to develop the center of pitch as a mental image in your head. Very important to get sonic vocabulary, right? Okay, your turn. Listen very carefully. Cool. Should be nice and in tune now. Cross those 2 registers of the instrument. If you're not, feel free to back up. If you also got a tuner, make sure you're sitting there with the tuner. Listen carefully, but we always want you to be listening on screen so you can match pitch. Sound really great with the ensemble. Okay, so we got a tongue warm-up here for you. Section 2, Exercise A. Now, this is sort of weird. We want you to think about this one. You're going to clip the endings on the tied eighth notes. What, Millhouse? Why in the world would you want me to clip the ends of these notes? Because we never do that, ever. Well, in this case, what we're trying to get you to understand is how the air is prepared for the articulation. In other words, when that tongue stops on the end of that eighth note that you see right there, there will still be air backed up behind it, so that it will sound like this. Right? You can hear the air behind my tongue, right? We don't normally do that in music. We're trying to illustrate how the air is prepared for the next articulation and that tongue would get away from that strike. Doing this to show that the air keeps moving forward, right? Okay, what else can we think about in terms of how this works? As the air moves and leaves your body, right, the tongue just enters the airstream. We like to demo this with kind of a water faucet metaphor, right? So we're turning on the water, water comes out, right? Here, my finger is acting like my tongue. Right? But what happens to the air? Keeps coming out against and as the tongue passes through. We don't do this with the water faucet. To get rearticulation, right? So what are we thinking about? Always moving the air forward and out into the instrument as you articulate. That's what this is for. So we want you to get a feel for how the air is laying up against the back of the tongue when you clip the ends of these notes. And then we'll never do it again. Okay, here's A. 1, 2, and. Hear how they clip that off? They stop it right in the aperture. Very nice, guys. Super good. And you notice, yeah, they did really well on that. Did you notice? Nice clipped off. We'd never do that ever in any music. But it's really important how the air is backed up against the tongue, prepared for what would be the next articulation after that point. You notice on the last note, they didn't do it. There's no tied eighth note, so they just let the air resonate out into the silence. So they have da, and the vowel ending really creates that resonance. We love it. Oh yes, we're on to exercise B now. Don't clip that second eighth note of each measure, right? Full value all the way through those. Yeah, nice vowel resonant sound, okay? We got tenuto accents in here. You can handle this. It's style. We got rhythm and art, right? So we're talking about style in this case. Tenuto means full value note. Accent means weight on the front. Has a little bit stronger attack on the front. They look like this. We have just a hair of decay from the attack through the entire value of the note, right? Think about that. That's why we have a full value accent tenuto. It's style. Let's do it. Here's beat. 1, 2, and. Very nice. Good job creating that seamless tenuto between the quarter note and the eighth notes. How'd you do on that? We don't want any space between there. That's why there's that tenuto, but we do want the punch on the front of all the notes. Really important. Feel free to press the back button if you want to knock that style one more time and get some skill out of that. We love it. Okay, exercise C. We're still in section 2, right? Check it out. Same deal with the accent tenutos here, right? Different rhythms though, so you gotta watch out for that. Every note is as important as the previous. Don't ghost those eighth notes inside of each measure, okay? We want to make sure that all the eighth notes get their full value as well and that they have accents just like the rest of the notes that do, okay? Let's roll it. Check it out. Be ready. Here we go. 1, 2, and. Nice job, guys. Very nice. Seamless again on all of those. And notice how their eighth notes matched in style with the dotted quarter and the quarter. In other words, the eighth notes were not ghosted because the other notes were long. We gave them all equal attention with regard to the accent. Really important skill. We want to train your eyes to see stuff like that when you're looking at it, okay? Exercise A of section 3, we're looking at rhythms and simple meters. Oh boy, this is where it gets fun, man. Because look at the rhythm stuff we get to read. I love to read. Sempre staccato. That means sempre, Italian for always. Staccato, our Pro Series definition, is half the value of the note that you see, okay? A little bit lighter, but we still have that very nice, light, resonant, open vowel ending to all the notes. So they sound lovely and they're not clipping. Clip, clip, you don't want that, right? Watch the repeats. Check them out. Keep the tongue close to the point of articulation. In other words, have it ready to go. It's inside the oral cavity, ready to roll while the air continuously moves out. Here we go. P.S. You got some ties in there. Full value on those tied notes. No staccato there, okay? Because that tie really makes us feel like we carry that value all the way forward into the tied spot. Cool. Here we go. 1, 2, and. Guys, super awesome in terms of being persnickety about those stylistic tendencies, right? Sempre staccato, they're applying half value to every single one of those notes as they move through there, except for the ties, which they've elongated and pressed forward into the beat, because I believe they're syncopated ties, right, guys? Yes. So those syncopated ties, they're moving forward, pressing them towards the beat that they land on. Really important. Great sound the whole time. You notice they're not clipping into that staccato either, right? It's all gorgeous the whole time. We love that. Oh, yes. And is it perfect? Probably not perfect, because things are very rarely perfect and we're all human. But what are they doing? Striving to make it as close to 100% accurate perfection as they humanly can. And that is what we want you to be doing as well. Pushing the envelope for yourself in terms of correct style and rhythm and placement of perfect pulse the whole time, right? Be pressing your envelope. We love that. All right, we're on to B. Now we're switching gears. Sempre legato. Watch the dotted 8th, 16ths. Do you see those? Oh, yes. So now we have something that's typically very march style. You know, we usually see dotted 8th, 16ths all the time, but we're going to apply a legato concept to that. Very valuable skill. The habit is to make these as well kind of triplet feeling. Da, 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 da. But no, they are very rhythmically precise. They're based on 4 16th notes, so you have to have that 16th note pattern going on the inside. 1 E enda, 2 E enda. Put 3 of those 16th notes together, that's the dotted 8th, and then the last one is the remaining 16th note. Now we want you to subdivide the whole time, have that constant 16th note track or 8th note track going in your head so that you get D, 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 where it's very, very rhythmically precise, doesn't have the triplet feel. Use a da tongue because it's legato. Sha, B. 1, 2. Nice, guys. Very, very fine precision. Oh, yes, he likes it. I like it too. Fine precision on the legato, making sure that it's nice and smooth the whole time on those rhythms. How'd you do in the dotted 8 16ths? You have to be your own best critic. Why? Because I'm not there in the room with you telling you. You have to be self-evaluative all the time, making sure you're assessing how you're doing. Make sure that you're really self-aware of what's going on as you create those legato styles. And if you feel like you made any of those staccato or not full value or not very smooth with the articulation on that da tongue, press the back button. Go back, do it again. Get better. We're always concerned about you getting better. All right, exercise C. Still talking about rhythms and simple meters here. Sempre staccatissimo. That means if staccato is half value, then very staccato, staccatissimo, is going to be a quarter value for us, okay? So we're thinking about creating uber short values, but still great sounding endings, still resonant vowel, gorgeous sounds on the ends of the notes. Keep watching the repeats because they go crazy, right? We give you 2 chances as we roll through this to make these solid. Guess what? We give you 6,977 billion chances because you got the back button, right? You can do this as many times as you want. If you struggle through the first time, that's fine. Then you can come back and knock it again. All right, continue to subdivide all the time. You're thinking about that 8th note track, thinking about 16th note tracks. If you get frustrated, no problem. Back button's your friend. Even though staccatissimo is really, really short, we need to say this, right? We need to make sure that you know what's going on. Staccatissimo. Don't clip the notes. We don't want that. Sumo! We don't want that, okay? We want to make sure we have vowel endings and no clippings. Okay? C for cool, like me. Ready? 1, 2, and. guys. Super excellent job placing all those rhythms inside staccatissimo style. They're thinking about all the time, can I make sure that I'm getting nice short value notes, but a resonant, glorious sound at the end of them, right? So they sound good, they're not clipped, without rushing this pulse, and then placing all these rhythms very accurately. They're looking at the note groupings, they're finding where they fall inside the track as it rolls forward. How'd you do with that? You got the back button. I know if I was doing that for the first time, I'd be pressing the back button for sure. We're on to section 4. We got rhythms and compound meters. Exercise A, we got 6/8. So you want to look ahead for spooky stuff, because there's some things here in terms of counting issues. Want to be aware, 6/8 notes per measure, you know that. Now we're switching from a written style markings, right, to actual style dots and these things and smooth stuff, right? You see tenutos, you see staccatos in the same measures. You have to be able to read all of those things, not just the words, right? Have the triplet track, chuck, 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 going through your head all the time, that internal pulse. Watch these articulations. It's rhythm and art. The magic. Here we go, here's A. One, two, and. Nice job, guys. Triple rhythms. Rhythms and compound meters. Challenging. You think about that triplet pulse all the time, placing stuff with all those little eighth rests hanging out in there, making sure that you place eighth notes in exactly the right place, and then with their style. Very important skill. Feel free to press back if you need to. Exercise B, still in section 4, right? Got lots of staccato here. Use really clean articulations. That's what we want. Lots of air behind the tongue. Think back to core sound. Bring those same rich, gorgeous sounds right here. 2, rhythm and art. We love that. We got hemiola in measure 2. That's not a pizza topping, I promise. We got a duple feel inside of a triple feel. That means we feel like we're in 2 for a moment, or we feel like we're in a 2 feel in terms of eighth notes, even though we have a triple feel on the eighth notes. So I see that second measure. I think that I'm in 3/4 there, even though we're in 9/8. So I subdivide that as if it's a dotted quarter followed by a dotted quarter in 3/4, right? So I'm thinking about da 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 dee, da 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 dee, da, right? Okay, so that's how I do it instead of trying to think about it in the triple perspective, which we don't like. One more thing, if you got issues with this, man, or any of this rhythm stuff, or anything in general, we solve your life solutions at proseriesnow.com. Send me an email. Send Professor Kratz an email. We hang out over there and we answer your questions, find solutions to your problem. It's a nice little musical community of Pro Series folks working on stuff, always trying to improve themselves as a musician, and we love that. Okay, here's B. May the pulse be with you. And also with you. 1, 2. Cool, man. Ooh, that's hard stuff. How's that last measure rolling out? If you feel like pressing the back button and working that again because some of those things tripped you up, that's cool. We like that. Something's going to help you on that last measure. Thinking about placing the beat in the rest. In other words, place the rest and have the note immediately follow the rest so that you're not thinking about where does the note go. Think about the rest and it'll go bop, bop, bop. And I'm thinking about this, where I'm actually placing the silence. Very important skill when you try to subdivide and place crazy eighth notes all over the place inside of subdivisions. Really important. We're on to exercise C. So now we're popping in some staccatissimo here. Nice resonance though. They're not clippied, right? Make those extra short, but they still have that great vowel ending lightness, right? Show the difference between staccato, half value, and staccatissimo, quarter value. All right, so look at the second to last measure as well. Some crazy stuff. Crazy syncopation. See it? Second to last measure. That's before that dotted half note. Crazy syncopation. Count this in your head right now. We're going to give you a little demo of it. It's crazy. If you think of it as 2 quarter note triplets inside that measure, as if we were in a duple feel and we were performing 2 quarter note sets of triplets, that would be way cool. That's how we're going to think of it right now. We're going to demo it for you. Okay, here's that second to last measure. Listen to us. Ready, guys? Nice, guys. Super cool. Man, I'm telling you what, that is a great demo of that particular part. We're going to roll it right now. Ready? Here, C. It's challenging. You got this. 1, 2, and... I'm gonna pound for all of it because it's great. How'd you do with that? Super good, I hope. Because triple pulse is hard, man. Triple stuff where you have to subdivide all those crazy things with those staccatos, placing them, thinking about the rest, makes your brain explode. Do it as many times as you can. Not your brain exploding, of course, but this. Press the back button, make it work. Do it a whole bunch of times. We got section 5, exercise A. This is the bonus round, man. We love the bonus round. It means you're coming down the home stretch. Fun one. We want you to make sure you're differentiating between the accented notes, and the staccato notes, ding, right? Look at the trills in both cases as well. We got some of those, yes. Let's trill and very naturally crescendo as well into the next downbeat. So you're gonna trill, put a little forward motion with crescendo there, but remember to re-articulate on the new note. That's critical, right? Because it's not slurred. A couple accented staccatos as well. That's this with this. Ding! That means weight on the front, but a little lighter on the end, a little shorter in length, okay? And sting those because they're cool. Here's exercise A. 1, 2, and... Cool, guys. Very nice job. Woo! How'd you do with all those cool stylistic things that are thrown in there? You're handling the triple pulse really well. For rhythm, we're doing rhythm. We're doing articulation. That's why it's called rhythm and articulation. We got exercise B. Check it out. Loads of tenutos in this one, right? So we're going to have full value notes wherever indicated all the time. Mind your repeats as well. Push through the eighth notes. Direct that air forward. Have your core sound ready to roll all the time. Check out the 16th notes as well. See those? Yeah. Crescendo and aim for the 8th that comes after it, the 8th note. See that? We want you to use the 16th notes, push air through them, crescendo, aim for the 8th that follows. Okay, here's B. 1, 2. Sound. Great job on the tenutos, guys. Also, they're using those 16th notes right to push through, shaping that line, gives it that lovely lilting feel. Dee-da-doo-da-dee, right? Lovely, lovely. We love that. Hope you're doing that too. Exercise C. It's the last one, man. Oh. Yeah, I know. Fast was like, yes. The last one. You got this. You can do it. Dynamics all over the place. Look ahead right now and circle all the important changes that you see in the dynamics. Take that ever-present pencil that's on your music stand and make sure that they get little circles, right? Read through the rhythms right now. So you're looking ahead, checking all the crazy stuff, counting those in your head. You got to pause because this isn't sight reading. So if you want to look ahead, that's cool. Pause. I'll be like this on your screen for a little bit, and then I'll come back to life. It'll be great. Watch the tenutos as well. There's a tenuto accent, right, in the last measure. See that? That's what we're talking about. Yeah, tenuto accent. Okay, push through. Play the high C with the great sound. We're in that upper register. We want to make sure that we retain the mid-register sound where we sound gorgeous. We want the same gorgeousness up there, not too bright. Think about opening that oral cavity just a little bit, darkening the sound. This is your first time on that guy rolling through this, right? You might want to pick the G because we gave you that little option there, which is fine and cool, and then you can come back and knock that C at a later time. Here comes C, the last one. Make it good. Here we go. 1, 2, and... Wow, great job, guys. I'm going to pound that for that one, man, even though I'm about to pound it again, because it's the end. This is rhythm and articulation, and I hope you enjoyed it, because you're going to come back and do it a million times, and we love that. You're going to make so much progress through this particular DVD. Rhythm, what's going to help you all the time? Subdivision. Keep that track all the time. Duple pulse, we love it. Triple pulse, we love it. We keep those eighth notes going inside all the time. Develop that solid rhythmic skill, and guess what? Articulation. Always have that air prepared to craft the exact right kind of style that's called for in the music. It's only going to help you become the best musician that you can be. Friends, we had a great time. Flute Pro Series is so awesome. We'll see you real soon. And do the right arm. See ya. Bye. Bye, guys. Cool. Woo.